podcast.
Is it too early to celebrate?
Celebrate what?
You're leaving.
Oh, good one. I'm the one that set that joke up, so I get the credit for dissing myself.
Nobody's giving anybody any
Bam.
credit.
Booyah.
Anyway, okay, I wanted to talk more about this idea of using media as almost like a medicine. You know what I mean? Like almost like a therapy.
Form of therapeutic relief.
Yeah, so if you went to the doctor and you said, you know, I'm suffering from gout, and the doctor would say, watch 3 episodes of Lost and 5 episodes of The Walking Dead and get a good night's sleep.
I don't think that would work. I would probably say watch a good week's worth of Shark Week or Blue Planet 1 and 2.
For what? For
if
what?
you're dealing
malady?
with gout, because I'm just talking about this specific case. Gout generally means you eat too much damn seafood. So chances are you're not going to be able to eat a lot
Gout's
of
related to seafood?
I think it's related to like a lot of like salt.
I thought it was like related to diabetes.
I thought it was like something that happened to your joints so that it was hard.
Arthritis.
But you said gout.
Gout.
Arthritis gout?
No, just gout.
Yeah, I think that's can be brought on by eating too much sodium.
Well, I don't think physical ailments are probably not solved by watching shows.
If you're, yes.
But
they
mental
can be.
ones can be.
That's what I'm getting at, is if maybe you can't have the seafood, but you can calm your mind by watching others enjoy it.
There you go. Allergic to
Which
seafood,
that
you
sucks.
could watch people eat seafood instead. What does that do for you?
Fucking miserable.
Oh, this crab's delicious.
Don't.
But no, like seriously, if you're depressed, for instance, if you have depression, you can watch some comedy to pull yourself out of it, or you can watch some depressing stuff, possibly. It's like eating ice cream when you're sad. You know, ice cream is a medicine in that instance. And I feel like media can also be viewed as a therapeutic outlet for people when they're, you know, suffering from mental strain or ailments of some kind. What do you want to get from entertainment? Like, what is it that you want your entertainment to do for you?
Entertainment, no matter what form it is there to take your mind generally. Hey, I'll call ASPCA on your if you hurt that fucking dog.
My headphones popped out.
Yeah, well, your eyeballs are going to pop out because I'm going to squeeze your head hole.
I didn't hurt him. He was
Well, I
not
heard
sure.
him, and so did the damn people of the world heard him yelp. I'll call the Humane Society quicker
You're
than
not
you
gonna
can
call
say.
anybody. Ain't nobody
it.
hurting any dogs.
Oh,
Shut your mouth.
no, we just heard a whelp for nothing.
I took his toy away because he was going to
Oh,
choke on it.
yeah, you probably ripped his arm off
It's
at the
actually
same time.
nasty. Those things stink. Anyway, what do you want from entertainment? You know, that's something I've been thinking about lately.
Don't do that, it might hurt.
Is what do you need in your life at the moment? Like, if your life's really hectic, then you need a show that's going to calm you down, which is what I've found myself doing lately, is reaching back to, you know, the 80s and 90s, finding shows that, you know, fit whatever I need. It's not necessarily that I want to go watch somebody shoot up like an action movie or something like that. Sometimes I do. Like, well, I have to be in an extraordinarily good mood to watch an action movie, for instance.
Probably a good example there is a VR game that I was reading about and doing a little bit of background research because I thought it was pretty cool, where the story of the game is you're a patient that has psychological issues and you deal with them in this virtual reality environment as monsters that might relate to whatever you might be depressed about, and it kind of almost forces you to confront them.
Is this
sort
called
of.
the story of Bluudev's life?
No, this is not my life. I know this is not a VR segment, but as far as entertainment goes and like being able to help a person in a therapeutic or
It's a therapy, I think.
It's a therapy thing. If you are legitimately afraid of sharks, and we were just talking about the beautiful Ocean Ramses and her swimming with a 20-foot great
I'm trying
white
to
shark.
forget it, but
You
yes.
can't forget that lovely young lady.
I'm trying my best.
But she was swimming with a giant shark off of Hawaii. If you're saying like maybe there's some people that do have a phobia of going in the water.
So curing phobias with VR.
I mean, that's definitely something that could be done.
So
I just created a f***ing industry.
did you?
I just did.
Stop yelling.
Kill this f***ing interview right now. Let's go to the whiteboard. Holy shit. I just fucking created an interview. I just did it.
Entertainment being used as therapy or as a form of medicine has more potential, I think, than it's getting recognized for. Possibly.
Yes.
Back when we were growing up, though, you couldn't just watch media at will. Like, you had to wait till Thursday to roll around. I mean, this is not that long ago. This is how media works, especially like TV and stuff.
What do you mean you had to wait until Thursday to watch media?
You know, if you wanted to watch Cheers, you had to wait till Thursday to watch Cheers.
TGI Friday came on Friday.
Yeah.
Right. Now, with the power of all these
Internet,
media outlets, you literally want to find a clip, bing, bang,
Yeah,
pow.
you can spend 5 hours just watching the entire season. I think it's interesting to think of media in that way now that you can consume it at will.
I think that's the key, is the fact that
Yeah.
it's so readily available.
Yep. And you can watch whatever you want, really, and there's a lot more
Pretty much,
options. It's
yes.
not just Cheers on Thursday, and they're just going to make you feel whatever they felt like making you feel when they wrote that episode. It's more direct. It can be more directed toward your personal.
That leads me into something else, which can be a whole nother topic. So, Game of Thrones, HBO's finest programming, what I consider to be the greatest television show of all time.
Oz was better.
Oz was good, but
Oz was good. I'm gonna go back and watch
Game
Oz.
of Thrones, creme de la creme.
No,
It is the creme de la creme.
it's like one. It's one continent too many.
It might be one, or it might be
It's too damn
too many
complicated.
families and one.
Yeah,
Like,
too many.
I can understand that, but I
too
just throw all that out the window because it's so good. But my point is, so HBO, they release an episode every week or so, and that works phenomenally for them. But then you take Netflix, who will Stranger Things, they just give you the whole season
whole thing.
right there. But that in itself is what I'm talking about. Like, for when I'm watching Game of Thrones, I mean, it's an event. Me and my friends, we're getting together on Sunday. We're preparing for it. And when it's over, we're excited. We're counting down the days for the next one to come. When it's something like Netflix, it's like, man, it's great to go ahead and consume it all.
And it's more of a personal thing too. Like, you just consume it all by yourself,
Yes.
or with one other person. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes it's not, because, I mean, are you really going to sit down with a group of people for 15 hours straight?
Let's spend the weekend together.
Let's not move from this spot. I've got my oops, I crapped my pants on.
Maybe they
Okay.
do. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have enough friends to
I don't
know.
have friends like that. I don't know if I want friends like that. At that point, yeah, house.
Yeah. Yeah. You're starting to smell.
You're starting to really smell. You can go take a poop. You're not going to miss anything.
Yeah, we'll
But,
stop
like,
it. We
think-
can stop it.
I think both of those work, and I believe this is going to come across as like first world problems. Sometimes, like coming home and binge watching, or just starting up the saved episode from earlier that day of the Game of Thrones that you're going to watch. Sometimes that is the therapy you need.
The modern
as an
human
individual.
therapy.
Yeah,
First
that
world
is-
for sure.
That is it. And again, I think it all reciprocates around the fact that it's so much easier to get a hold of entertainment, not even just from a handheld standpoint, but just like on your own time standpoint.
It's converting media into a utilitarian asset for
Yes.
humans, which is a strange idea. It's kind of scary and troubling, but also, used the right way, it can be comforting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And VR especially, I don't think we're just scratching the surface.
I mean,
on
you
VR
were a little
at this point.
skeptical when I got the PSVR.
Well, I just
and
think it's such a personal experience, that's all. But to be used as a medical tool and to be used as an educational tool, I think VR has a ton of possibility.
Yeah.
But as an entertainment, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh, I'm all on the internet. I legitimately think that at some point it'll be, as far as games,
It's going to be Strange Days, the movie Strange Days. You remember that movie?
Angela Bassett.
It's where they
and-
sell experiences to each other. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? Doesn't it just, like, the VR stuff doesn't make you want to just move out to a small country town somewhere and just have a nice, quiet life? It doesn't. You're a 21st century boy.
I mean, unless I legitimately had to come in here and work, I'm fine living in the virtual world. I would never leave my house. I just sit down in my chair.
That's scary.
Just bought Ace Combat 7, getting my Afterburner joystick in the mail.
You touched on a good idea there, is dealing with phobias, and I'm sure there are some medical universities that are experimenting with using VR technology to
Now they
help
are,
people
because
cope.
they just stole my idea because they're listening to us.
Nobody listens to this. That's the safe part of all of our
Mother
conversations.
truckers, all of you stealing my Get out of my brain!
These are private conversations.
Not too far down the road that most of the games will be in VR. Like most of the games that are worth that. And that's the thing too, like even if you're talking about Legend of Zelda, you could still be in the world.
It
Like,
makes me sick. Like, I have physical problems with it, obviously.
Oh, just wait till you play Ace Combat.
I'm not going to play Ace
I'm
Combat
gonna
because I'll
fucking
throw
strap
up
it to
into your VR goggles.
I'm gonna drill it right through your ear hole.
I can't do it. It's the tilting down. As soon as I start to tilt down, I feel like I'm going to throw up immediately. Like, it's not even like getting sweaty and mouth watering. Like, it's immediate puke coming out of my face. It makes me wonder, what is Nintendo doing with VR? You know they're doing something.
They have to be because the Wii is really was
like-
the last big, besides the VR.
The Switch has been big.
I mean, but the Switch is still really just it's like a fancier version of the Wii. And I would say probably Super Nintendo was really good. And you could put Sega Genesis, but then I would really say probably the Dreamcast. And I know I'm sounding like a homer, but the Dreamcast was really the next.
I think that's where we
step.
turn the podcast off, is when you
'cause
start
now
talking
I'm
about the
getting- Now I'm
Dreamcast.
going down memory lane, and I'm about to educate you.
Yeah, you got all week. You got a long weekend coming up. You can...
After Dreamcast,
Okay.
then
No, we're not going to talk about
Hey,
Dreamcast.
you remember the Virtual
How did we get
Boy?
on the history of video games?
Remember the Virtual Boy?
I don't want to talk about that.
my
I remember the
holy-
logo. I don't remember anything else.
Holy peanut butter cookies and cream.
I'm coming with you. Like, you're drawing me down this road of
I
history
know,
of video
I
games.
know.
I'm not.
So are
We'll
the
make
viewers.
that another topic.
So are the viewers.
Another topic. Next podcast,
You
we'll
just
talk.
cut me off whenever you're ready, because I'm.
Next podcast, we'll talk about the history of video games. Fascinating.
Virtual Boy. I remember.
Virtual Boy, we're gonna
going
fade out.
To Best Buy.
Audio
Seeing that
fade
thing.
out.
It was amazing. On the little tripod, you stick your head in the red dot.
Play the music. Somebody
And then you
walk
see,
him off
like,
the stage.
It literally comes on.
Get him off the
and then there's,
stage,
like,
please.
Red and
Hook.
black bright lights coming on. You're
You
like,
know,
okay.
light bright lights. Nobody's even listening.
At
It's
some
fading
point-
out. The
at
music's
some
coming
point-
on. This has
some
been a
point.
U42 podcast.
There's
Goodbye.
going to be color, right? We're
That's a
gonna
good
see
topic,
color.
though. We'll talk
We're
about that
gonna see
later.
color?
We're gonna.
No,
I'm
we're
gonna
not
turn it
gonna
off.
see color.
We'll talk
Just
about that
see
later.
Red and black.
The red and
Red
black.
and black.
Yep.
That's it.
George Bulldogs are
That's
awesome.
it.
Yep.